Howdy folks, this is Travis of Elliston Equine Solutions down here at the Clopton Cow Company, and today's topic is sacking out. And originally it came from sacking out by using a potato bag, a burlap bag, a grain bag, because back in the day this is what feed came in, it's what potatoes came in, oats, whatever came inside these burlap bags, so they were handy back in the day. Nowadays, for feed bags, potato bags, so forth, you probably have a modern nylon, makes a lot of noise type of paper plastic bag, okay? So the sacking out process is what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to do today. So you can look over here to my right and you'll see a Mustang here. Dirty, nasty, mud over them, long hooves, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you generally the sacking out procedure and the process of what I do to get a horse sacked out. So first I'll start with a burlap sack, and then generally I'll go to the paper sack because it makes noise, kind of like what the author said about the newspaper, okay? I don't have to use newspaper because we got the modern feed sack. So with the burlap sack, I really like it because what we're trying to do is gentle a horse down, okay, so we're able to touch from nose hair to tail hair. And that's generally what we're doing. We're getting it prepped for saddle blanket coming on or saddle coming on, your leg getting put on, all kinds of stuff to sack out the horse, give them so they're not so excited. So you can do it on a Ted Blocker tie ring, which I have this horse tied up onto if you want, or you can freehand it, take it off and just drape it around your arm. Third one is you can hobble the horse, you can put a sideline on, three-way hobble, Scotch hobble, any method you want just to restrict their movement. And if you're interested in hobbling, I do have videos on my channel talking about the different types of hobbling, okay? All the ones I just mentioned. Okay, so I'm gonna go wide around this Mustang here. He's keeping both ears on me, now he's changed eyes. And I'm going to show first the process, and you can see he's a little snorty. He's not really into my touch. He doesn't care about what I think, what I do. So it's my job to try to make a good process of this, all right? So first thing I do, I'm off at a 45-degree angle, and I just want him to smell the bag. Then I'm just going to take my hand and put it inside of it. He's already smelled it. I'm going to watch out he doesn't kick me with that leg. I'm at here at a 45-degree angle, and then I'm just going to start up here and just rub them with it. Rub them with it nice and easy like. Let me see if I can get on top of the ears. Now, colts, unbrokes generally like the feel of a grain sack, okay? The grain sack covers your paw. Because remember, they are a flight animal, so they think if you just introduce your hand right away, sometimes they have issues with it. So that's where the different sticks come into play when you're working with them at times. If you want to use a stick and string as an extension of your arm, this works pretty darn good too. So I'm just watching his muscles while I'm doing this. I'm watching to see if they're going to get tense. And he doesn't know it, but I actually got a hand inside this burlap sack, this potato bag, as we called it in Montana back in the day. And I just want to rub him with it. Now if he gets to a spot that I see a lot of twitching, I'm just going to back up and slowly approach it and pull it back. And I'm not going to ruffle the hair. I'm just going to, what I mean by that, I'm going to take it off the animal, all right, if he's twitching. If he does, it doesn't matter. I can go against the hair, which fluffs it. And I want him to get used to that feeling too. I want him to get real relaxed on this as much as possible. Now he hasn't, there's a blank. So remember, I'm watching the body language of the horse. He's watching the body language of me. He blinked there. If he's blinking, he's thinking. If he's not, he's hot, as the old adage goes. Yeah. I'm gonna go back up to his face, blinking there. Now I might just take my thumb, put it inside his mouth, and kind of loosen up his jaw. And I want a little bit of movement there, okay? I want him to be relaxed, so I just put my finger in there, and he accepted it with no problem, because I already put my feed bag up around that area, playing with it earlier. And then he's like, whoa, what's that in my mouth? I wasn't surprised by it, but he did accept it, open up the mouth, and that's all I wanted. Now you see, he picked up his foot there, he moved it real close to his other one, which means he's not really comfortable. I'm at my 45-degree angle. I'm watching that hind leg. Now I'm going to take a back step back, and I want him to square up. I don't want him once again to be uncomfortable. I want him to square up and not be balanced or unbalanced. Okay, that's what I meant to say, unbalanced. If he's like this, he's not really stabilized too well. So I want him comfortable on this process as much as I possibly can. And then I'll just approach him again. I'm not sneaking on him. I'm not doing this, creeping up on him, creeping up on him. I want him to be nice and comfortable and just take this sack. And I'm gonna rub down with both hands in the feed sack and take it straight down, okay? He's like, whoa, what was that? Okay, no biggie. Now I'm gonna, so now we got a little bit of relaxation in that hind leg on the offside. Now I'm going to see if I can actually rub this leg without getting kicked, okay? And see if he'll accept it or not. Remember, we just want to sack him out where we can touch every part of his body. And this is a good introduction to it, because I want to get where I can groom this horse. See, he jumped a little bit there. Now I'm going to come over here and do some more. Around his back. I'm watching his muscles to see if he's going to react in any way. And this is really good to sack him out, because you want to feel if there's any trembling, if any muscles. You want to see, because your legs, your hands, some part of you is going to brush it when you start riding them. You don't want him to freak out. Doing good here so far. I'm putting both hands on the burlap sack, and I'm just going down with it. Now you're probably thinking, hey, he might be just kind of just taking it because he's in shock right now. What's going on? Yep. So he didn't like that, so I just kind of got out of the way. I'm gonna let him think about it. He's licking and chewing now. Not no biggie, I'll just start over. I don't get really too bothered by it. And I'll just approach again. See if he'll take it. Boy. Boy. I'll take a step back from it. And rub them again with it. He's a little goosey back here. You just start twitching here. Just moved his whole hip. I just want him to get comfortable. He doesn't have to like this, but he does have to get comfortable with this, okay? So I'm gonna rub right here, reach it around, and I'm slowly just gonna bring it back and forth. If he doesn't like it, I just take a step back, no biggie. I just start over. You're gonna start seeing a change on this guy, okay? Now I stuck with it a lot longer just before I told me I don't like that so much more, and I stuck with it, okay? Until I felt like I wasn't safe on the subject. So you have to use personal judgment, which, how do you get judgment? Through repetition. Repetition from what? experience to get comfortable. There, his legs cocked. I'm just doing it nice and easy. I'm gonna take it off. That was a lot better change right there. Now I just took my hand on there, just to see what would happen. He is accepting my hand. Away from the burlap bag, because I've gone to that shoulder I don't know how many times now. Okay, now he's following me. That's pretty cool. Good, good boy. Still kind of snorty. So we're going to start the process again. Slow down. Go in the front again. You can see I'm picking up the tempo a little bit more now. Good boy. Reach around his buttocks. Going down to his leg. Going down all the way to the pasture bone if I can. Now I'm just going to see if he'll accept this a lot better than he did. And go a little bit higher. He doesn't like it when you go high. So I'm going to go back down low. Now I'm going to go high. Good. Now I'm going to go low. This is approaching. Get up top a little bit higher. Good. Retreat. That's pretty darn good. Good. Now his ears still pinned back. They're releasing. A lot better. I know. I know. I really like this bag. Now I'm going to switch over where I'm going to take the bag. I'm going to introduce my other hand here. See if you can take that now. He's taking my other hand. That's fantastic. Okay, so like I said, you can do it on the tip locker tie ring. And now we're going to demonstrate the other side. And what I'm going to use is in hand, which means I'm just going to hold the rope in my arm with my hand and see if we pull off the same thing on the other side. I'm going to come over to my sweet spot, my safe spot. I'm going to come over here to the left. My left, his right. And I'm just going to let him smell it. I'm not going to rub him on the nose. I'm just going to let him smell it. Now, what I'll do is go to his face a little bit. Up here on his head, I'm at that 45 degrees, so if he jumps forward, I'm good. He's like, oh, that's a little goosey there. Got some other horses outside the round corral here. Kind of got his tension on a little bit. Hopefully don't knock nothing over and then spook this guy. But I got prepared for what goes on the outside of my environment just as much as I am on the inside of my environment right now. Okay? So we've made it that far. I'm going to continue with this sack. Get to his chest. Jump there. Watching the horse out of the corner of my right eye, making sure nothing's going bad. Going down the leg, nice and easy like. Good boy. Good boy. Now I'm going to try to do the drying the towel trick on him, okay? Just going to whip it right and left. Remember, everything's about judgment. If he starts getting spooky, just do it again. If he moves a whole lot, just means you got more work to do, okay? So he was like, what's going on over there with them horses? I do have a young colt out there, free ranging. And I got Bella. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this horse back where you can see a little bit more. Put my hand up, Good. You hear him snorting, you hear him boogering. I'm using personal judgment not to use hobbles right now. Now I don't think I need them. It's all judgment call. You got to use feel, timing, and balance to understand what's going on here. Watching his muscles. Boy. Now, I don't like how that back end, so I'm going to square him up again. Like I said, creating that balance I was talking about, feel, time, and balance. I wasn't feeling what was right back there. He sure in the heck didn't have no balance. So it was the time to move him. A lot of times in horse training, not only you got to consider what you're doing, you got to consider the horse, you got to consider what's going on the outside of the road too. Especially when you got a round pound or pin or round corral that is open. Doesn't have the high walls. Doesn't have the solid walls. Walls are taller than him, it's harder for him to get out, but point being, he can still see through it, so he can see what's going on out there. I don't really mind that because you can see these horses are calm over here. At the same time, he's got his eye on me because I want to make sure that he knows what I'm doing. And then when I go later on for horse training, with different movements, I'm going to have his interest always on me, not what's going on out there. I'm going to teach him that. I'm going to teach him that, okay? Good, he moved his feet there. I'm going to bring him over here now. Good, and then I'm going to approach on the head. Bring it back over. Okay, good. I'm stiff. Now I might rub the nose because I gotta be able to touch the nose hair sometime. Put it on top of his eyes. Good. Get to where I can get back to that hind leg back there. I hear licking and chewing going on up front. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to come down here behind the hind legs. Get the haunches. Boy, so far we're doing really good so far. Good. I'm going to come back here, retreat. I'm going to set up my rope where I can use both my hands. So you can see why I went back to my 45-degree angle from that front shoulder, because it could have turned out pretty bad if I would have stopped by that hind leg and tried to move them, because they could just. Okay, he's dropping road apples. Good, so I'm right here. Back to what I was doing. And before you go into this stuff, you gotta have a goal in your head of what you want to accomplish with your horse. And try to still meet these goals. I'm still trying to meet my goal here as much as I possibly can. And I got to measure that with maybe he won't make it today. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. So my goal was to be able to touch that back leg, and that's what I've been doing the whole time. Come out of it. Like moving a little bit too fast on me. I want him squared up because I don't like how that foot's back there. I want him balanced. Can't get a pulling contest with the horse. I like that a lot better. So I went off to a 45-degree angle to pull him off center. Now I don't like the front end. Now I don't like the rear end. I like that a lot better on both sides, behind and front. Back to what I was doing. So now I'm just going to start following him when he goes. As long as he keeps it slow, I'm just going to keep rubbing and following him. Just going to rub and follow him. Just going to rub and follow him. Just going to rub and follow him. Good boy. Now I changed it up where I'm just going to rub and follow him. If he moves, I move with him. Doesn't mean I'm going to be rubbing his legs. Might be rubbing up by his chest, his shoulders, everywhere else. I just want to make sure. I'm going to adjust my rope, get back to my sweet spot, because I don't like where I'm out of position there. Good boy. Good boy. Adjust my hand position there. Good. Good. So now I'm just rubbing. He's like, oh, no too much for me. So I got around that leg that time, but he won't transition to what? Seesawing action on there. He's manually like, I just don't know about that. So I'm going to get out of space so he can't lurch at me. I didn't like where I was at right there at all. Very unsafe area. So what I'm going to do is stop right there with that leg, and I'm going to move on to something else, and then I'm going to go back to that leg, okay? So once I'm done sacking on the ground, go ahead. Okay, so, all right, so what I'm going to do, because I have problems with that hind foot there, I'm just going to go ahead and put the rope around my back. That way, if I'm bent down, trying to touch that leg, I can go ahead and untrack his hind quarters, which ain't gonna be an issue because that's what he's been doing to me anyhow. So I'm just gonna go here, rub. I'm just gonna see if I can pick up this leg with this. Pick up this foot. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to go back to my sack. Oh, I see a difference in the hind leg. So I'm just going to bring the feed sack down. I'm just going to rub. I'm going to put my outside hand on. Good boy. Good boy. Good. I'm still rubbing because I want to make sure it's still moving because he's used to that already. Now he's used to the rubbing of the sack. He's like, I'm out of here. Like, okay. I'm going to go back to flicking my sack. Thought about leaving, he didn't. He's like, oh, okay, that's all you want me to do. Now while he's flicking, I'm still going to put my hand and start rubbing, okay? Rub. Looks like he's pretty comfortable with that. And I'm just rubbing on both sides. And this is actually preparation to farrier work in the get later on down the road anyhow, okay? It's like, I'm out here. I'm like, okay, I'll just trap your leg with it. Wasn't no issue with it, okay? Track his hind quarters. Good. So mentally, this is his sticking point. Every horse has a sticky point. We just got to help them build courage and let them know, hey, it's not that big of a deal. Remember, you gotta use judgment on this. My judgment says I can go ahead and go a little bit more. And then probably what your judgment is, okay? What's the different definition experience? Definition experience is gaining judgment from bad experiences or good, okay? A lot of people get a lot of bad experiences. They make good judgment. Good. I'm just going to rub down. Go with his inside leg. Good boy. And so what I could do if I want is put Scotch hobbles on to help the process a little bit faster, okay? Which I probably could do. But he's being real slow on bringing that leg away from me now on track 9/4. So I'm just going to do the same thing as I've been doing. A little bit slower each step he takes. That one was a lot bigger than normal. Now he's boogering out. I'm going to say no. We're past all that. He's got his leg cocked nice and easy. Gonna let him think about that. Go back to rubbing. I hear licking and chewing going on. Good boy. Good boy. Now let go of it. Not that big of a deal. The biggest thing you gotta do as a trainer or a horseman or an educator, a teacher, whatever term you want to use, is controlling your emotions when things don't go right with a critter, a horse. Okay. Now what I did there is I used this to try to move them because they could just... Okay, he's dropping road apples. And so I'm right here. Back to what I was doing. And before you go into this stuff, you got to have a goal in your head of what you want to accomplish with your horse. And try to still meet these goals. I'm still trying to meet my goal here as much as I possibly can. And I got to measure that with maybe he won't make it today. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. So my goal was to be able to touch that back leg, and that's what I've been doing the whole time. Come out of it. Like moving a little bit too fast on me. I want him squared up because I don't like how that foot's back there. I want him balanced. Can't get a pulling contest with the horse. I like that a lot better. So I went off to a 45-degree angle to pull him off center. Now I don't like the front end. Now I don't like the rear end. I like that a lot better on both sides, behind and front. Back to what I was doing. So now I'm just going to start following him when he goes. As long as he keeps it slow, I'm just going to keep rubbing and following him. Just going to rub and follow him. Just going to rub and follow him. Just going to rub and follow him. Good boy. Now I changed it up where I'm just going to rub and follow him. If he moves, I move with him. Doesn't mean I'm going to be rubbing his legs. Might be rubbing up by his chest, his shoulders, everywhere else. I just want to make sure and adjust my rope, get back to my sweet spot because I don't like where I'm out of position there. Good boy. Good boy. Adjust my hand position there. Good. Good. So now I'm just rubbing. He's like, oh, no too much for me. So I got around that leg that time, but he won't transition to what? Seesawing action on there. He's manually like, I just don't know about that. So I'm gonna get out of space so he can't lurch at me. I didn't like where I was at right there at all. Very unsafe area. So what I'm going to do is stop right there with that leg, and I'm going to move on to something else, and then I'm going to go back to that leg, okay? So once I'm done sacking on the ground, what I like to do next is normally sack them from up the top. And what do I mean? I like to sack them above them in preparation for me getting on, saddling. It's all part of the process, okay? And that's what we're going to do next. Get down on the ground to get them used to the burlap sack. I like to be able to have them parallel to the fence, sitting on the rail, and to be able to do this with unbroke or colt, I do have another video showing how to make them side pass up to the fence. But all I'm doing is rubbing him with it, getting them real comfortable with it. Good boy. This is all I want. I want him to be relaxed and chilled on it, okay? No biggie. Let him know, hey, everything's okay. Everything is okay, because you know what? That might be my leg one of these days. This might be my leg back here, my hand back here, the leg here. He's like, well, I just got goosed there a little bit. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Let me rub it off for you, okay? See if I can rub your head, no problems. In your ears, no biggie, no problem. Get some extension on it. Good. And you see, it's not really that big of a problem because a lot of times when I start on brokes or colts or mustang, whatever you want to call the animal, mule, whatever, I'm doing all this same stuff. Preparation for my arm, my leg coming over. No different what I did on the ground is what I'm doing up here. I just want him very, very comfortable with it. Good boy. So he did pretty good right there, so I'm going to send him off a little bit and see if I can bring him back up here and do the same thing. Good. Send him. Good. Good boy. Like you're chewing out there from a distance. And really want him to be comfortable here, but sometimes beginning, I like to send him out a little bit, get rid of a little bit of the stress. You can see he's real sticky to the feet, so I'll go over here at a 45. Good. Release the pressure once he's there. Now I'm going to see if I can send him the other direction. He's like, what are you wanting? Good. Went that direction, untracked hindquarters. Good. So I'm going to start doing this a little bit. Good. I'm going to send him this way. I'm going to untrack the hindquarters. Untrack the hindquarters. He thought I was going to get the cue to bring him in. I'm like, nope, I'm just want you to go ahead and move your feet. Is this horse perfect? Absolutely not. But he ain't doing bad, same token for what he is. Nope. Good. Don't think about that. Come over here, send him. Bring that nose in. Good. So he likes to try to run away from you. You can see that already. So already showing a pattern. So I'm just going to bump the nose over to me each time. If he goes out, I already know he's going to look out. So I'm just going to bring him in with his nose. Bring him in with his nose. Good. Good. Now I'm going to give him the cue to come in. See if he'll accept it. Good. Good boy. Good. Perfect. Perfect. I'm gonna rub with my hand. Done that a lot. Solo, if you remember, with the feed sack. Yeah. Bring out my feed sack and go to places I haven't been so comfortable with. He leaned back there. I'm gonna say, hey, it's okay. He's kind of in a funny position because he's leaned forward off of his hind legs, but yet he's got his left hind kind of cocked and relaxed. So he really doesn't really know what to do here. Should I react or not react? That's kind of what's crossed his mind. I'm gonna help him out here. That's good. Put that hind leg in a little bit more. Good. A little bit more. Good. I like that right there. That was beautiful. That was very, very, very nice. And see, I'm above him right now, which is a different position for him. But I'm just going to continue sacking him out. And remember, folks, this is just a way of getting the job done. Might not be the way, depending on which horse or animal you're using. But generally, it does me pretty good doing all this. Treats me very well. He's got good facial expression right there. He's got an ear off to the right, one ear on me. He doesn't really have a concern or a bother, okay? So I'm just kind of playing with him right now. I'm gonna reach over, get a little bit more brave on my presentation here. Good boy. Obviously, I can't reach his feet, but from here, I just want him to be able to see the bag out of his right eye, and then feel it where it's going, and then feel the bag on his left eye, you can see it, okay? So I could change eyes without him being bothered, is what I'm getting at. And you gotta be fast on your reflexes to lean up if they start bucking, start kicking, whatever they're gonna do, okay? If I gotta lose the rope, I'll lose the rope. I'm not gonna get too bothered by it on the lead rope. I'm not gonna burn my hand trying to hang on to it, and for Pete's sake, I don't wanna get drug over my rail here, okay? So, that pretty much does the sacking out. And then tomorrow I'll get to that right hind leg and make it better. I might do this 3 days, might depend on the animal. Some animals take more than others. Good. That's the gist of it anyhow for sacking out. Next step is I like to get my plastic feed sack out and sack them out with that. The old timers back in the day used to use newspapers. I don't need newspapers anymore because, heck, I got these plastic feed bags. As soon as he heard that noise, you seen him step off, okay? But that's what I'll do next, and that's another video on the sacking process. Good boy. Good boy. And see, I didn't beat him with the sack. I didn't do anything. I just wanted it kind of relaxed and comfortable to him. I'm going to bring him back in so I can rub him. Good. Just wanted a step or two there. Good. Good. All right, folks, so I hope this helps you out. Hope you gives you a moment to think about sacking out, what it is and what it's for. And the stuff hasn't changed. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up this halter and leader rope once you get off the fence, get off the cartilage of his nose. Well, I hope you have a great time wherever you're at. I know we're getting close to Christmas, and I hope you're getting all your presents done. Hope you're buying some cool stuff, neat stuff for your horsemanship, wherever it may be. If you're looking for bits, look for different stuff, look at Hawkeye Bits and Spurs. He's got some great stuff out there. If you look for horseshoe decorations, look for Triple R horseshoes. He's got good stuff. If you're looking for parachute and kiting reins, heck, go for Brevin. All these sponsorships are underneath my link and also on my channel on the index card. So with that being said, take care. Always a pleasure. Now you have the knowledge from watching this video which made you become the solution. Take care. Adios.